Woo! Aloha kako, Joey Cachola Prather with eXp Realty. Today we're going to talk about a significant change starting May 1st about the sea level rise disclosure. Let's talk about it and let's rock! Alright guys, so as I mentioned, we're talking about the sea level rise disclosure, a brand new one coming up on May 1st. Significant for all you sellers and agents out there. For anyone who is moving over to Oahu anytime soon, shameless plug, I am a licensed realtor with eXp Realty. So feel free to DM me in the social media and also give me a follow on there, or you can give me a call, text, or an email right here on the contact information right there below you. For all you agents and sellers and buyers out there, if you guys got a closing date after May 1st, you guys have got to pay attention to the deal. It's going to protect your butt and it'll save you on the long run. With that being said, let's talk about this new disclosure coming up. So, Act 179, with Governor Ige signing that last year, comes into effect May 1st of 2022. So basically said and put, if your residential property is in a special flood hazard area or a sea level rise area, it must be disclosed as a material fact to the buyer at all times and before you put it on your listing. And even if that residential is not in the red zone area right there, over disclose anyway, because it's better to do that. And as realtors, one of our core values is disclosure. So why is it important right now? So where is the rising sea level numbers coming from? Well, it is said to believe that in the next 100 years, the sea level is supposed to rise up to 3.2 feet. However, that is inaccurate and is just determined depending on what's going on with the world. The best case scenario, it doesn't sea level rise. However, with some lawsuits going on in the North Shore, some houses going down, from what I've heard in the past, is basically the seller's obligation to determine if their home is in that area. However, if they cannot determine if their property is in that flood zone area, the listing agent can help out and guide them through all those maps. So the real question is, when do you have to disclose that? Well, according to the Act, the seller must disclose that over to the buyer no later than 10 days after acceptance. So how is this going to affect closings as far as May 1st after? Sellers, don't wait, just tell them right now. The best thing you can do, just put that on a blank addendum along with your seller's disclosure, or if you've already turned in that seller's disclosure before May 1st, it's better to put in a blank amendment with that said disclosure of your property inside the flood area.
But Joey, what if I go through it?
That's a great question. So, if you got a close coming up on May 2nd, and your property is in that zone, and it could substantially affect the property's value, you have to disclose it. And even if you do decide to disclose it by that time, the buyer has that right, that statutory right, to think about that disclosure and whether they should move forward or rescind that contract. And whenever you buy a property here in Hawaii, whether it's ocean property or mountain property, we do run the risk of anything that happens within the weather element, which in this case here is sea level rising. We put it this way: if you don't disclose it and then sell the property anyway, and then a few years down the line the property in that flood zone does get destroyed, that then new homeowner can go ahead and sue the previous homeowner because of failure disclosure. So it will bite you in the butt along the road. So put into context, everyone is not immune to it. Not even Obama. I know he's buying up oceanfront property. Right here, it can impact oceanfront home prices, but it can also lose the home in the case of that flood or inadvertent sea level rise. In this massive situation, this is by far the largest disclosure we need to keep our eyes on, even bigger than the lead disclosure. So here's the new procedure that all agents are going to have to do in order to save their butt in every transaction they do. Okay, so we got over here the 17-page document going on here. So there is an address of a client over here in that red mark right there. So apparently it's not in the worst case scenario. However, like right now, we're still trying to figure out if we need to disclose that it's near the sea level rise. I understand it's a pain in the butt, but this is brand new in the law, and I believe there's going to be a lot of things going on in the next 60 days here at the end of April. So let's say your property was around here, around leeward, I would say, around this areas, you know, then yes, you'd have to, the seller is going to have to disclose it, put it on the listing, and then do the due diligence, buyer does the due diligence. Okay, so we go on PDF compressor over here. So for that 17-page document pertaining to your address and all that kind of stuff about the surf line, the sea rise. You go over here to maybe either small PDF, Adobe, on one of these. You click on that, choose the files, and then you upload that 17-page PDF. Because what that's gonna do is pretty much going to reduce the amount of gigabytes or whatever it is of that PDF. It will allow you to send that through DocuSign or where it may be. More information to come throughout the rest of the days, but this is how the idea is gonna go. So over here we got the 2 pages, the FAQs mandatory, have your seller initial pages showing that they understand what's going on about Act 179. And it shows who must disclose it, when must it be disclosed, and all this patient. This is all I got on that back end. If you need more information regarding this disclosure, feel free to message Maria Sims of eXp Realty on Maui. She did a presentation. And also, don't forget to talk to your brokers. They need to be on top of everything that's going on, especially with the new forms, new disclosures, a whole awareness in the backyard nines. So feel free to DM me in social media and also give me a follow on there. And if you ever need some assistance moving out on Oahu, me being a realtor with eXp Realty, please give me a follow on my social media platforms and DM me with any questions that you may have. Or you can go ahead and give me a call, text, or an email in that contact information right there. Again, I'm Joey Cachola Prather with eXp Realty, and I will see you guys soon. Let's go!